British actually made the eastern part of the region as their capital. And Shillong being a very naturally, a very cool climate, was amenable to their taste, and therefore the British administration was running from there, and therefore that region saw a great amount of development. Assam was a very, very important part of that development. You're also aware that Assam is called the Pragjyotishpur from Mahabharata times. It was a very integral part of the growth of civilization of this country. However, because of various reasons of neglect, Assam has witnessed a fall in its economy for the last 4 decades from the time of independence. But that era is past. It's a past era. And today we see a tremendous progress in the way Assam is charting out its future. The Honorable Prime Minister says that the Northeast is Adhisthana, the foundation pillar. The period of growth of the next decade of India will depend on the growth of the Northeast, and the reasons I will mention in my presentation. He also calls the 8 sisters as the Ashtalakshmi. He says if the growth of the country has to be ensured, it has to be ensured from the Northeast. And as businessmen, you look at 3 things. Whenever I talk to businessmen, they say, we look at the place, does it make sense? We look at whether the policies and the bureaucracy is up to the mark. And third, we look at the people and the culture. So the 3 P's actually determine for a businessman as to how to go forward. And I shall try and present very shortly before you as to what we in Assam, you have seen in the AV, has presented beautifully. I'll try to delve a little deeper and try and show you in numbers as to what actually the AV is speaking about. The first thing is, of course, Assam, as you can see, has doubled its economy from the last decade. It is from $29 billion, it has become 68. And by 2030, we are expecting it to be about $130 billion. I should not be making comparisons, but let me say that we are going faster than the rest of the nation, including Telangana. We are growing at 2% more. In the last year, we grew 5% more than Telangana, just as a matter of comparison, not to say anything. But yes, we have really moved faster, and we are trying to catch up with the rest of the nation. Next, our tax growth, in fact, if you will see, was 25% last year. That's because of the rapid growth of infrastructure. Next. Next, please, next. Yeah. So, when we look at the place, we are strategically located. Mostly we think that we are strategically located if you're in Madhya Pradesh, maybe on the ports of Gujarat, maybe on the port of Visakhapatnam, etc. But we are also, why Northeast is strategically located, I'll show you, is that Assam can actually reach about 30% of the world population with about 3 hours of flight. So it is located, and I'll show you in the diagrams, going forward. Next slide, please. Here, as you can see, I tried to show you. In fact, it is easier for me to go to, say, Bangladesh, easier for me to go to Myanmar, Dhaka, Mandalay, Yangon, Vietnam, Bangkok, Malaysia, than to come to Delhi or to come to Hyderabad. So it's naturally located, and that's why we say, that's why the Prime Minister says, look east, because that's a huge market which is coming up. In fact, the markets which are saturated now, if you look at it in terms of the logistics which are coming in terms of rail, roadways, electricity, internet connectivity, which will connect very, very symbiotically the whole of the Southeast Asia to Assam as a gateway to Southeast Asia, you can see from this diagram.